Welcome back to Dinar Revalue, the channel where we break down the rumors, realities, and latest updates about global currencies that could shape your financial future. Imagine waking up tomorrow, checking your phone, and seeing the Iraqi dinar trading at 4.21 against the US dollar, while the Vietnamese dong skyrockets to 3.04. Overnight, millions of people around the world would become wealthier than they ever dreamed possible. But is this vision just around the corner? Or is it another wave of hype designed to stir investor emotions? Today, we're going to take this story apart piece by piece, separate fact from speculation, and explore what these rumors could mean if you're holding Iraqi dinar or Vietnamese dong right now. Get ready, because this is one of the most talked about currency discussions of 2025. Let's start with the raw numbers. Right now, the Iraqi dinar trades at roughly 1 USD equals 300 dinars, meaning each dinar is worth less than a penny. For the currency to suddenly leap to 4.21 USD per dinar, we'd be looking at one of the biggest revaluations in financial history. This wouldn't just be a small adjustment, it would be an economic earthquake that ripples across the globe. On the other hand, the Vietnamese dong currently sits at about 1 USD equals 24,000 dong, which makes one dong worth fractions of a cent. A jump to 3.04 per USD would mean a historic move, an increase of several million %. Think about that. These are not small, everyday adjustments. These are numbers that would dwarf even the most extreme currency events in the past century, and that's exactly why they deserve closer inspection. Now, why do some people believe these revaluations are even possible? Supporters argue that Iraq is sitting on over 140 billion barrels of proven oil reserves, some of the largest in the world. Their logic is simple. If Iraq stabilizes politically and properly manages its oil wealth, its currency should reflect that massive resource base. In Vietnam's case, the argument is different but equally compelling. Vietnam has become a manufacturing powerhouse, often called the factory of the world. From Nike shoes to Samsung smartphones, Vietnam produces the goods that fuel global supply chains. With GDP growth rates hovering between 6% and 7% annually for decades, many see the dong as undervalued compared to the country's true economic strength. But here's the problem. Currency values don't rise just because a nation has resources or factories. They rise when the world trusts that country's government, banking system, and long-term stability. Investors look for predictable policies, strong institutions, and consistent financial regulation. For Iraq, that means solving issues of political instability, corruption, and overdependence on oil revenues. Without real reforms, oil wealth alone won't magically push the dinar to $4.21. For Vietnam, the situation is different but just as complex. While its economy is growing fast, a sudden jump to $3.04 would actually hurt Vietnam's trade advantage. Its exports, currently affordable and competitive, would suddenly become expensive on the global market. That could stall the very growth that has made Vietnam successful in the first place. History shows us what's realistic. After World War II, Germany replaced its old currency with the Deutschmark. But it was a redenomination, 10 old marks for one new mark, not an overnight wealth boom. In 2005, Turkey dropped 6 zeros from the lira. But again, that was redenomination, not sudden wealth creation. No country has ever simply multiplied its citizens' wealth thousands of times overnight through a secret revaluation. If they did, international investors would lose trust instantly, and the currency would collapse. This brings us to an important warning. Whenever rumors about massive revaluations spread, scammers emerge. They promise insider info, secret exchange rates, or guaranteed profits. But the truth is simple. No one can guarantee what a currency will do. Central banks move carefully and deliberately because stability, not chaos, is their ultimate goal. If someone tells you they have secret government connections or that your dinar will make you rich overnight, treat that as a giant red flag. So what would it actually take for the dinar or the dong to rise meaningfully in value? For Iraq, it would require long-term political stability, deep banking reforms, and an economy that isn't entirely dependent on oil. For Vietnam, it's about continuing steady growth, modernizing its financial systems, and moving up the value chain into more advanced industries. These steps could lead to gradual currency appreciation, but over years and decades, not days. Now, let's imagine for a moment that these rumors came true. If the dinar hit $4.21 and the dong reached $3.04, investors would indeed become instantly wealthy. But Iraq and Vietnam would face economic collapse. Their exports would vanish overnight. Inflation could skyrocket. International contracts would be thrown into turmoil. In short, what looks like a dream for investors could easily become a nightmare for the countries themselves. And that's exactly why central banks avoid these types of moves. So where does this leave us in 2025? The truth is, both Iraq and Vietnam do have strong potential. The dinar could rise gradually if Iraq stabilizes and reforms. The dong could appreciate if Vietnam continues its impressive growth and modernization. But the wild numbers being thrown around, $4.21 and $3.04, are almost certainly hype, not reality. If you're holding dinar or dong, treat them as one part of a diversified investment strategy, not your entire financial future. Stay cautious, stay skeptical, and remember, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. This has been Dinar Revalue. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like this video, share it with fellow investors, and subscribe for more in-depth updates on the world of currencies. The truth is out there, you just need to separate it from the noise.